Okay, so I wanted to do a little bit of sound improvement here in this little office that I do my hammer work and my streaming work in. And you can see I got this fairly big blank wall here with no pictures and nothing on it. So I thought I would put some acoustic tiles. Now what I found was these acoustic tiles. I guess I've got the wrong ones. There they go. They're acoustic tiles, and they make a map of the world. So I thought, well, that would be pretty cool. And then I laid them down, and it's like, well, yeah, they don't really look like a picture, and how am I going to stick them up there? I don't know. So then I also found these brown ones. They're just plain brown, the same size. And I thought, you know, I could cut these into smaller strips and apply them in a way to make these look like a border to these, you know, like a little border. Make it look more like a picture. And then I got to thinking, well, how am I going to get them up there? I'll have to stand on a ladder and try to figure out how to glue them on the wall and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up deciding to put these on a piece of plywood, actually make a picture, if you want to call it that. And then when I get it all finished, I can just put one screw in there and hang the whole thing up like a picture. So I did some measurement, and when I cut these in half, one side will be for each side of the, right? One half will be over here, the other half over here. You get the point. I'll put them all on a piece of plywood and then hang it. So the whole thing will be 50 inches wide, 37.5 inches tall. So the first thing I got to do is I got to cut these into halves. And when I get to a corner up here, I'll have a little corner area that I'll have to cut. So let me get started, and then I hope the finished product will be something you'll maybe understand in my crazy mind where I'm going with it right now. All right, so stand by. Here it comes. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my gauge set exactly on 12 inches, and they're not, these tiles are not exactly 12 by 12 as advertised. So I'm gonna have to adjust maybe slightly, or maybe not. It's probably gonna not be noticeable up on the wall. So I've got all my tiles here. I'm just going to set them aside, and I've got a piece of cardboard here. Since I'm going to be doing some cutting, I just want to protect the desk a little bit. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to just go ahead and set this on here. Now I'm set exactly at 12 inches. I'm going to go ahead and make it 6. I don't think it's going to be noticeable enough. And just for sake of argument. And then I'm going to use this, make sure I'm flat against one edge. You can see I'm right on those marks. I have a very brand new sharp utility blade, and I'm just going to lightly cut through these. The main thing, see, look there, I got off. It's moving. This is why I do it lightly to begin with. Let me hold that better. Now I'm not putting a lot of pressure here. I'm mainly just sort of scoring it many times. Now I've got that deep enough, I'm pretty sure I can just follow through that line. Yeah, we're getting real close. Oh, definitely through that. Let's just make one final cut. Yeah, there may be a better way to do this, and I would like, if there is and you know a way, go ahead and put that in the comments so that anybody else watching, if they're going to do something similar, maybe there's a better way to do this than what I know of. Okay, so I'm going to pause the camera here while I skip forward and cut all these tiles in half. Okay, so to answer a question that you may be having, what I'm going to do with these corners. You see I'll have the matte acoustic tile, and I'll have these border acoustic tiles make it look like a frame. But the question is what I'm doing in this little space right here. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these and cut it to set right in there like that. So this will need to be cut in half, and I'll have 4 corners, so I need to take 2 of these tiles and cut these in half. So let me do that real quick. I'll show you that. Basically the same operation. We're going to just literally mark the center, line up the square, and cut. Once you get 2 or 3 passes, the blade's going to just follow in that crack. Okay, so now we have 2 clean edges. Okay, so the next process was to zip down to my home improvement store and purchase the plywood. Now these guys are more than willing to cut the plywood for me, and I know it'll be square and straight, so I let them do their thing. Okay, so now I just do a quick layout to see where the pieces are going to go on the board and make sure everything looks okay. I'm going to be leaving about a 1/2 inch space between the tiles, and I want to paint that area. I want the wood behind the tile to be fresh wood for adhesion of the cement. So I'll just finish up marking where I'm going to paint here and then move on to the next process. Okay, so now I'm going to cut a slot in this plywood to facilitate hanging it on the wall. I want to be able to use a single screw, and I want it to be hidden. I don't want any wires or hooks or any of those sorts of things. I just want a screw on the wall and a slot where I can mount this. Now to do that, I'm just going to find the center of the board. Once I've found the center of the board, drill 2 half-inch holes, one on each side. Then use a straight edge to literally connect the dots, top and bottom. Then using a jigsaw, we just cut the slot along the lines that we previously marked. A little bit of spray paint on those marks, pencil marks that I made earlier, and once that's done, we'll get the edges, and then after all the painting is done and dried, we'll see about putting on the tiles. Now this is Texas in the hot Texas sun, 97 degrees with a little bit of wind blowing. It won't take very long at all for this paint to dry. Okay, so here I'm going to be using some indoor construction adhesive. And I'm just putting 4 or 5 glops on the back of each one of these tiles. And I'll be putting them in place. I'm going to be starting with the outside edges and working my way around to create the border. This will allow me to lay them out in a manner giving me that space that I need. When that's all done, we'll take it inside for the next step, the hanging. Okay, so there's the finished product up on the wall. Total time it took to actually do that was a couple of hours. It wasn't bad. Again, I had the piece of wood cut at the home improvement store. The tiles I got off of eBay, I'll put a link to them. There's a lot of different patterns besides this. Since this is kind of a ham shack, I thought the world would be appropriate since I have made contacts all over the world. So there it is. We put something on this big blank wall. It should help the acoustics in here. They're all acoustic tiles, and you know, didn't turn out too bad if I do say so myself. All right. So that's it for this video, and as always, please subscribe and click that little dingy-dong bell, whichever corner it's in. Maybe down there, I don't know. And click it so you'll get notifications, email notifications when I put out more videos. And above all else, guys, have fun.